Hey, how's it going? And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about enums in verse code. I'm just in the Unreal Editor right now and I have a trigger device and a verse device, and the rest of this is in the code. One thing I wanted to show you is that you may have used enums before and not even been aware that you've been using them. So if we go into the Unreal Digest, you'll see here if you've used overlays or widgets, you'll see that these are all enums here. And how we would access this is we'd go orientation dot horizontal or vertical. And so we're identifying that we want to orient the widget from left to right or from top to bottom. And so we would use the enumerator here, this enum, to do that. And we could set the horizontal alignment, the vertical alignment. We could set the UI input mode. There's like at least 12 instances here of enumerators that you could use. And basically, by typing in image underscore tiling dot stretch or repeat, we're letting the verse code know this is what we want to implement. We're using this to identify something we want to happen, but we can't see the code that's making this happen. So that's one of the things that might be confusing about the enum is that it's basically a label or almost like a switch command to do something, but we're not seeing the code behind it. We're just seeing the enumerator and then seeing it happen. So I think that's where it can get confusing about what is an enum, because if you're going to use enum in your code, and that's kind of what we're going to walk through right here, we're creating an enum. We're calling it hues, and then we use the colon equals operator, and then we specify enum, the curly braces, and then we make a list of whatever we want, whatever the enumerators are. Here it's red, green, and blue. So now I have a list of things, but this list doesn't do anything. There's nothing associated with this. So that's where it's problematic, because you have to figure out, well, what do I want my enumerators to do? And so you're going to have to build that logic, that programming into your code so that this actually means something and does something. So then down here, we just have a creative device. And here we are creating a variable called hue. And it's the enum here. And we're initializing it to this enumerator here, red. But again, this is just a label at this point. This doesn't do anything. So what we're doing is we're going to create a text block that changes colors every time I go over a trigger device. So let me just show you what that looks like real quick. Is if I'm in the game here, you'll see there's my message there on the screen, and every time I go over the trigger, the message is changing a color. Well, it's done randomly. I don't know why it's not changing it. Okay, there's blue, red. I'll keep doing it until it turns green. Getting a lot of reds here for some reason. There's green. And then back to red. Getting a lot of reds for some reason. But it's just randomly changing the color. So that's all this does. But I wanted to just show you that this does actually do something. We have our enumerator here, and we are setting it up within the curly braces, whatever we want it to do. And then we create this variable here, hue. And here I'm just creating a text block, an overlay, a text message, and then I have an @editable for the trigger and the spawner. And then we have these methods down here. This essentially here, these first two just initialize our UI. Right here, horizontal and center, this is actually an enumerator right there. Right? So you have the enum here, and that's the enumerator there. But we don't see any of the code behind this. So if I click on horizontal alignment, you'll see it's an enum, and that's how we access it. We don't see any of the code behind it. So if you're going to create an enum in verse code, you have to create some logic behind it so that it actually means something. So here at the top, we've created our enumerator, our enum. And then down here, what we're doing is we're creating this function called random color, and it takes in the agent option of option type. And as we get a random variable here, and here what we're doing is we're just assigning the enumerators to the variable hue based on a random number. So if the random number is 1, then we set hue to hues.red. If it's 2, we set it to hues.green. And if it's Anything else, it's hues.blue. And then here's the most important part, and this is the main thing about this tutorial, is that you need to create some logic so that the enumerators do something or mean something. So in this case here, we're just changing the text color on our text based on what enumerator it is. So if it's the red enumerator, then we make the color red. If it's green, then we set it to green, and blue, we set it to blue. It's not enough just to create an enum here. We have to build in some logic so that that actually means something in our game. So now later on in the game, if I want to change the color, I could just reference this function here to cause those changes. So anyway, I hope you found this a little bit helpful. Take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.